it's over. It's not rehabilitatable. And yet, look at this. Joe Rogan on the wrong side on this one.
What's going on, you guys? Today we have Joe Rogan getting slammed by his own kind. Megyn Kelly is joining in on slamming Joe Rogan. Friendly fire? But who knows? I'm playing a clip from the Kulinski show as well as giving my commentary. Let's get into it.
Rogan is really all over the place politically. You know, depending on the day, depending on who he's talking to, he'll give you something that is at a far right field and far left field. And so the other day, what did I see the other day? There was something, he said something about Carrie Lake and voter fraud where I was like, ugh. You know, Carrie Lake has been slapped down in like 1 million court cases in Arizona because she kept trying to prove that there was voter fraud and that's why she lost or whatever. And she was laughed out of town in many instances, even by Republican judges, just like with Trump and the 60 court cases, because it's not true. It's not true. And we're going to do a story tomorrow where Carrie Lake is still to this day saying decertify Joe Biden and put Trump in now. Like pretend Trump won in 2020 today, now. Just like really, you know, cuckoo stuff. And Joe made some comment about that where I was like, ugh. But every now and then, you know, his normie instinct, that's who he is. He's Joe Rogan. He's like the average Joe, minus the fact that he's a gazillionaire, of course. But like his normie instinct will kick in and it'll piss off all of the right-wingers in his audience and some right-wing commentators. So this is a great example of it right here. So you guys remember the story of Bud Light, how they did an ad featuring a trans person, Dylan Mulvaney. They sent her like a can that had a picture of her face on it or whatever, and it was this thing. And the right absolutely lost their damn minds over it and acted like it was, you know, an attack on women and it was egregious and they boycotted Bud Light and they were super outraged. And I mean, look, the best story I could keep going back to when having conversations about stuff like this is there's a chocolate company that a year or two ago we learned uses literal slave labor. Like the Supreme Court heard a case on it and was like, meh, what are you going to do? If there is slavery, it's like 4 or 5 layers down the chain and removed. I don't know what you want us to do about it, so it is what it is. And you didn't hear any right-wing outcry over that. They didn't boycott the chocolate company. I think it was...
For context, Kulinski is saying this to point out the hypocrisy of the right, where they're going to make, you know, certain mountains out of molehills, but ignore others. And then for the Dylan Mulvaney part, that ties in with why Joe Rogan is getting called out in the first place. But yeah, that's just to give some context. Y'all let me know if y'all see anything peculiar in this next clip.
Nestle. They were just like, yeah, this, you know, nobody said a word about it. It's standard operating procedure. Yeah, okay, so we use slave labor. What are you going to do? But then there was some like woke chocolate scandal a year later. I don't know if it was like the M&Ms are not sexy anymore or whatever. And the Daily Wire boycotted a chocolate company and started making their own chocolate. So they don't care about literal slave labor, but they do care if the M&Ms are no longer fuckable. I mean, it's beyond parody, right? So this is an instance where Joe's normie instinct kicked in on the Bud Light thing. And he's like, basically, he's against who's ever making the most noise. And so if it's the right-wingers who are loud and aggressive and boycotting and making the most noise, he's like, shut up, you're being silly. If it's the left-wingers who are boycotting, being loud, making a lot of noise, he's like, shut up, you're silly. But now he ignited a firestorm. Megyn Kelly decided to attack him over the most banal thing I've ever seen in my life. Let's watch.
You mentioned Bud Light earlier, and I am with you on that whole thing, and I'm enjoying watching them suffer. I'm not going to lie. Now we've heard, we knew anecdotally that the sales were down. You know, we'd been hearing about distributors struggling and, you know, bar owners saying they can't sell it. And then we'd heard, oh, it's down 23%. It's down 28% this quarter. Just the month ending July 15th, the Bud Light sales were down 26.5%. Turns out from April to June, the second quarter, they lost almost $400 million in sales. $390 million. And Anheuser-Busch correctly said it was because of Bud Light, that they blamed the volume decline in Bud Light. You know, people saying it's done and it's not coming back, that these bartenders and people who deal in the liquor industry saying it's over, it's not rehabilitatable. And yet, look at this, Joe Rogan on the wrong side on this one, popping open a Bud Light, dismissing the whole controversy. This is the second time he's done this. Watch this.
And we're drinking Bud Lights, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
We're fucked.
There's nothing wrong with it. People are so cheers, sir.
Cheers, brother.
People are so silly. We were just talking about how silly it is. One person made a really stupid decision, and now everybody's decided that Bud Light is the enemy.
Not getting it.
Wrong.
They're so outraged. They're so like, oh, how dare you, sir?
Joe Rogan is going to learn very quick that, talking in these right-wing spaces, now that he's a part of this, completely conservative machine, he's going to have to abide to their rules. He's going to have to hate anyone that they say to hate. If they tell you to hate this person, now you're going to have to be fully on board with it and just buy into it. Don't even try to critically think for yourself, dude. And it's just, he's going to have to learn immediately, because he doesn't want to get called out. He doesn't want to get called out again. He's been called out by Trump a few times whenever he steps out of line. He's put himself in a really bad position, Joe Rogan.
You drank a Bud Light? Oh my God, I need to see that again. Show me your faces.
And now everybody's decided that Bud Light is the enemy.
Not getting it.
Wrong. He's totally
ahead.
wrong. Yeah. This is, as I said before, this is one of the cracks in the ice I'm seeing in the culture. The fact the right has, the right, the conservatives, they're like wrangling cats. Everyone has a different philosophy. Everyone has a different leader.
Literally nobody says that about conservatives. People always say that about the left. The left is like herding cats, because everybody definitely has a slightly different flavor, variety, or variation on their ideology, and the left is full of anybody from like resistance liberal to like Marxist Leninist to like social democrat to libertarian socialist to normie grandma who just doesn't like Republicans. Like, that's the left. The right is in lockstep almost all the time. I mean, now we've seen, some cracks begin to show with like Daily Wire versus Steven Crowder and Trump versus DeSantis, but they're pretty damn united. They're certainly united on their love of Donald Trump. He's destroying everybody in the primary. That's crystal clear. And they're certainly united on goofy stuff like this. Like, it's an outrage that Bud Light had a trans person in an ad.
Get together on anything, and they never take action because they are natural pessimists. So they always think it's over, the country's finished, there's no coming back. Just give me my Bud Light and shut up.
This guy's literally describing the left as he pretends like he's describing the right. You want to talk about natural pessimists? You want to talk about nihilists and doomerists? Homie, have you peeked under the hood of the left? It's a battle we fight here every single day. Like, no, I promise, it's okay. You can get up out of bed in the morning. I swear. Okay, no, it's okay. You can actually go and vote in an election. That doesn't mean that you've morphed into, a historically evil character. Hey, it's all right. This is the left. The right never does this stuff, ever.
No, this time they spotted this. They've spotted this transgender movement as an attack on femininity, an attack on femaleness, which is exactly what it is.
The transgender movement is an attack.
It's all just virtue signaling and posturing, that you're out here for everyone, that you're wanting to look out for men and women and wanting to look out for the human species. But, we're not going to talk about the ones that are marginalized in this system. We're not going to talk about, how we do believe in a fundamentalist Christianity that is out here, or just fundamentalism in general, that is telling women what to do with their bodies and, how they should dress and how they should act. They have the right wing, trad wife, all that type of culture to where they're literally wanting to just tell women how to act all the time. It's a get in line type of politics. It's a, hey, look, Joe, you need to get in line. You need to get with the program. We don't look at anything else besides what we're supposed to be doing. The only way that we can live this life is by discipline, and discipline means that we have to be strong, and being strong, and it's all of these platitudes that just mean nothing. They mean nothing, and they just lead you until you are completely isolated, until you are cut off from your feelings and, serving this capitalist system perfectly.
On femininity, an attack on femaleness. Why can't some people just be trans? That's like saying homosexuality is an attack on heterosexuality. Being gay is an attack on those who are straight. No, it's not. I'm straight. I've never for 1 second felt under attack by the gays. What the hell, man? These people are so obsessed with this issue. It's ridiculous.
They've spotted this transgender movement as an attack on femininity, an attack on femaleness, which is exactly what it is. It's an attempt to destroy the very existence of women, the very fact.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Because Bud Light did an ad with the trans people. It's an effort to get rid of women? Am I hearing that properly? Let's listen again.
Which is exactly what it is. It's an attempt to destroy the very existence of women,
It's an attempt to destroy the very existence of women. Are you out of your goddamn mind? Put down the crack pipe. Jesus Christ.
So there we have it, you guys. We have Joe Rogan not even getting attacked by his own viewers at this point. He's getting attacked by his peers. He's getting attacked by freaking Megyn Kelly. Like, these are the people that he's aligning himself with. They're all in the same room with Trump. And it's starting to get split off. He is starting to really feel the biggest differences in mentality, that he wants to maybe speak a little bit more freely. And these people do not want him to speak. They don't want him to barely talk out about anything at all. He has to be starring in that Daily Wire, comedy that is hating on trans people or whatever the crap that is. It's terrible that this country's coming to not wanting you to think for your own self. They don't want you to think for 1 second for your own self. They're wanting to continue to make you more unconscious, more, unable to express yourself, just following orders. They literally want to turn you into a freaking robot. And if they can't do that, then they're going to replace us with them. But look, let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's another day in the progressive way.